Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jackson.
From Top-Notch Sports. And today we're going to be over the Minnesota Vikings free agency frenzy. We're going to break down what we think they're going to do this upcoming free agency, during this offseason in general, and for the upcoming draft. So look, Minnesota didn't have a great year last year. Mike Zimmer is going to try to get this team back on the right track. We saw them get rid of Kyle Rudolph, which we had expected. Riley Reef, which we did not necessarily expect, but it did save them a whole boatload of money. Right now they're at $9 million in cap space. That's not a lot to really make a lot of moves. So, Jackson, what do you think this current state of this team is?
I think this team's not in as bad a predicament as it may seem. They only have $9 million. But in all honesty, they're not really losing that much. They are losing Anthony Harris, though. That's probably the biggest thing. But if you go down and look at the list that are notable losses, slide back in the salary cap review video, Anthony Harris is about the biggest name they're losing. And there's some pretty solid safeties in this draft this year. So I think Anthony Harris is definitely replaceable. But if you go look at the current state of the team, I'm a big fan of the offense. You got Adam Thielen, and then you got breakout rookie wide receiver Justin Jefferson, who in any other year would have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. You got Dalvin Cook. When he's on the field, he's one of the best running backs in the league. You got Mr. Monday Night Football and Kirk Cousins running the ship over there. I think Kirk Cousins can get the job done. I mean, I think last year was the first season that he didn't bring that team to the playoffs since he's been there. So I don't really think the offense is the problem. You go look at the defense, I think this is where they struggle. I like their linebacking core and Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr. You got Daniil Hunter coming off the edge, Harrison Smith. And all honesty, there's names on that defensive side of the ball. They just didn't perform. Maybe the struggles were in the cornerback room. You got rookie Jeff Gladney, and they got Cameron Dantzler. Two young guys playing cornerback for you. So I think the secondary is what really kind of brought this team down. I think this team, if they make right picks, because the picks they're going to make, they got a lot of draft picks. If you go look, they got a good amount of draft capital. So maybe this team attacks a safety in the first round possibly. They can get a defensive lineman in the draft and maybe bring in some offensive linemen. I think this team could be competitive again.
Absolutely. And again, you got to think about a few of these things, right? This team is their offensive line is the issue. Okay. Dalvin Cook's great. Kirk Cousins, I like Kirk. I like Irv Smith Jr. I like the receiving core. Their defense is okay. I mean, again, you just got to replace the safety position and get some interior defense alignment. Besides that, I like Cameron Dantzler. I like Jeff Gladney. Okay. I like Harrison Smith. I like their entire linebacker core and Troy Dye from the rookie from last year. Okay. What you got to understand is that both their cornerbacks were rookies from last year, and I was a fan of both of them. And Troy Dye, I was also a fan of another linebacker. So that's three rookies from last year are going to be starting this year. Ezra Cleveland is a guard. I'm pretty sure that was a rookie from last year as well. I remember scouting him. So look, here's the interesting thing about the Minnesota Vikings. They're starting a lot of young guys. This team's getting young. Here's what's going to be really interesting. What they decide to draft. I mean, look, they got $9 million right now. They might cut a few more guys, maybe get up to like 12, 15 million. Maybe they can make a play on someone like Joe Thuney if they can free up another $6-7 million. Okay, and get him to a long-term deal, bring him in at guard. If not, maybe a Matt Filer would be another option, right? A lot cheaper would be Matt Filer than someone like Joe Thuney, for crying out loud, because Joe Thuney's going to be demanding probably about $13 to $14 million a year. Easy. Okay. So someone that's more likely would be someone like Matt Filer, who would probably only be demanding about $6-7 million if he doesn't decide to go back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, they got to build offensive line. Okay, Matt Filer can play both right tackle and right guard. He swapped back and forward for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's say you slide him in that right guard. Okay, that would be nice to fill in that free agency. Then you only have to focus on your center, your left tackle, your both defensive linemen, and your safety position. Again, now in the first round, you could target a safety. I mean, you don't have a second round pick. You got 1 first and 2 thirds. And this team, I think, can hammer some of those mid-round picks. I personally look at it and I say this. Everyone says it might be a reach to go and take a safety. I like Trevon Moehrig. I'm a big fan of his. But I know that some people are saying that Javon Holland's a better true free safety. I think that you can go and take either of these guys in the first, because here's the thing. Even though I'm higher on Trevon Moehrig, and I think that he's a truly only the true first-round talent, you guys don't have a second-round pick. So if you think Javon Holland is the pick and you don't think you're going to get him in the third, you can take him in the first. I still would go personally with Trevon Moehrig. I think this guy's more of a playmaker altogether, even though you need that true free safety. I think Trevon Moehrig can be that guy. If you think that Javon Holland's your guy and you don't want to trade down to the second round or get some more draft capital, Javon Holland may be your guy. And he's a true free safety that can be a bull hawk. And then you got what's his face? Harrison Smith roaming and just nailing people like he always has, Harrison the Hitman Smith. Then you look in the third round, and I'm a big fan of a few other guys. I mean, you got someone like Jay Tufalo, who can potentially still be there at defensive tackle that can clog up holes, and he's pretty dominant if he can fall to the third. And another guy, maybe Aaron Banks at guard. I mean, he can play guard, maybe potentially some center if he can learn how to snap a little bit better. Again, late round pitch, you just got to try to fill in some holes. What's really concerning to me is that left tackle position. There's a lot of tackles in this year's draft. Maybe they take a tackle in the third round. They definitely are going to need one now. And I really don't know if you want to take a tackle and start one in the third round. It honestly kind of concerns me. That's the most concerning part, is that they got rid of a good left tackle. The guys that I can potentially think of, maybe like a Jackson Carman, maybe a Dylan Raduns, a Walker Little, maybe Spencer Brown might still be there. Another guy that I think is flying up draft boards that I think that this honestly might be a first round pick is a Tavin Jenkins. This guy is a brutal, gets his hands on you and drives you off the ball. Really good run blocking left tackle. He was originally supposed to go in like the fourth round. I think that he might honestly be a first round pick nowadays because how just physically brutal he is to the defensive lineman. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe, I mean, if he's there somehow, that could be a pick for this Minnesota Vikings team. It's a very talented left tackle and right tackle draft. Interior lineman a little bit, but not as much. So we'll have to wait and see. But let us know what you guys think. I think this team could get back on the right direction, get back on the train tracks, and start driving again very shortly. Is becoming a young team. I mean, this team, Adam Thielen, you got Justin Jefferson and Irv Smith, both young. Dalvin Cook, who's young. Ezra Cleveland, who's young. You're going to probably draft 2 or 3 offensive linemen. Guess what? If you draft them, they're young. You're going to probably draft a defensive lineman. Yeah, guess what? They're young. Troy Dye was rookie last year. He's young. Your 2 starting cornerbacks, guess what? They were both rookies from last year. They're both young. And then you're going to probably draft a free safety. Hey, guess what? They're young as well. So this team is becoming a very young team, and I'm excited for the Minnesota Vikings' future. I think that they can make a push the next few years, but I think it would be a little bit saying too much if we say they're going to be a playoff team this year and make a strong push. That's going a little too far. But if we say that we think this team in 3 years is going to be very solid, I think that's a fair statement to make. So Minnesota, I think your future's bright. I'm a huge fan of Justin Jefferson. He was ranked one of my top wide receivers last year in the draft. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Again, I'm a fan of this team. I'm excited to see what happens, and that's all. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe. We got our scouting analysis and our mock drafts coming soon. And that's all from me, from Nick. Jetson, anything else from you?
Got nothing, Nick.
All right, that's all, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are
Feel better.
See you guys soon. Peace.